YouTubers. Today I'm testing my Flight Sim 2020 in 4K for a future stream. It'll be this week at some point. So we're going to go and play some snow. Buckle up. Welcome back. So, as you can see, we're at Liverpool in the snow. The idea of today's video is to... I'm going to have to kill the ATC. The idea is to see how much this snow update impacts my sim, and then I can relay this onto a group of us who we're all going to fly at the weekend, probably Friday evening, and we're going to stream it. So for me, snow plus streaming is going to be a bit of a test. So we're at Liverpool. We're going to do a quick VFR flight to Welshpool, just mainly to sightsee, see what the new snow looks like, and just see whether it is flyable. This group flying that we're going to do could be Liverpool in the snow. It's been mentioned, let's do Iceland or somewhere fun, somewhere scenic, but I'm a bit apprehensive. I've just done, this is the second take of this video. The first take was about 5 frames a second. I am running at 4K, but it has been okay up to now. So let's change some settings because we can't fly like this, we can't see anything. Ready to fly, and let's pull these clouds away. This is one of the neat features of the new Flight Sim. Yes, there are lots of snow, cloud at about 15,000 feet. There we go, much better. So this is on an i9 with a 2080 card, 32 gig of RAM. So I'm pushing this to the max. I'm going to show you the setup quickly before I carry on. Let's put the webcam on. Cool, because I'm going to show you some software that I'm running. So this is my sim, Apache style sim, which is replacing my radiator at the moment because it's so hot. Got the generic Logitech 1920s yoke, OBS running over there, and this is Touch Portal. Now if I unlock my screen, click it a couple of times, I should be able to then use this to move around the cockpit, which is just a lifesaver. I can also go back on here, load up this, then I've got virtually every cockpit setting on my tablet. And there's a free version of this, there are other versions, but this one is called Touch Portal. And it's about £11 for the year, and that is just awesome for Flight Sim. Webcam off. That's another test, I just wanted to make sure that things like the webcams and that will work. So, runway 27, Liverpool. It's about 2 in the afternoon, so we shouldn't have too much sunlight. But that actually would be quite cool to see as well. So let's do this. Parking brake. That's down here as well. Parking brake is off. And I think we've got some flaps on here by default. This is the nearest aircraft I could find to the PA-30 or 28 that I fly. Oh look, volcanoes in Runcorn. I think that's wind farms. Over in that direction there, there's some wind farms which will show us elevations. Yeah, it looks a little bit like Liverpool. There's the hangars where I normally fly from. Yeah, generic. Looks okay though. So, aircraft's configured. So the idea is I'm going to take off, fly. I'll probably do a circuit of the airfield just so we can see the scenery. I was wanting to find out if it's tiles, but it's not. It is actually real scenery with snow on there, not just generic white tiles for snow. So do a loop of the airport and then fly in the direction of Welshpool. Probably just go around the hills there and just see what that looks like, and try and do a landing there. Say it's not an aircraft I normally fly, but we'll give it a go. One thing I'm going to try before Friday is a patch that makes these controls less sensitive, because this is awful. That's better. Oh, there we go, there's Cheshire Oaks volcano, accurately mapped. So, positive rate of climb. Let's go outside. You can see more outside, positive climb. Gear up.
Liverpool Tower Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf, continue for south departure.
That's actually pretty good looking. That's individual trees with snow on them.
Liverpool Tower Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf, frequency change.
Let's trim that up a bit.
Liverpool approach Beechcraft Alpha Sierra.
I'll probably try and fly at about 1,000 feet so we can see the scenery on the way down to Welshpool. But there's the housing estate that's near the airport. Jaguar factory.
Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Liverpool approach. Squad 5074.
Then in the distance you've got the Runcorn bridges. That's pretty decent.
Beechcraft Sierra X-ray Golf radar contact 1 mile northwest of Liverpool, 1,100 feet. Altimeter 29.92.
Copy Beechcraft Sierra X-ray Golf.
Okay, so the frame rate seems to have sorted itself out. I made the mistake of capping it at 30 with the NVIDIA panel. That doesn't work. You need to turn VSync off and just let the frames rip, do what they want to do, and then tune that in the flight sim. Which, if you're not familiar with that kind of thing, is a nightmare. It's getting about 5 frames a second, that's more like it. I think we're on about 30 frames a second now. But this is weird, and there's all sorts of elevations that it's just treating as volcanoes. Could be a tower, could be a mast. It looks pretty rubbish. We should do a touch and go at Howden and then jump down to Welshpool. Well, that's good, we've not frozen up yet. I got icing stuff on here, heat and ice. Anti-ice is on, pizza heat's on, cow flaps closed. So this is the top end of Chester. That's not bad looking. See if we can change that sun, that's just so frustrating. There's another neat trick in Flight Sim. We can change the time. Set it there for a while. Oh, engine failure. Not. What actually has happened there? Oh! Oh my god, that was strange. Right, so let's slow the aircraft down. And let's just go and do a quick touch and go at hard. Just to see how responsive it is. Quite like this nighttime setting. So, stage a flap. gear down. Probably need to come into the cockpit for this now. We are high. Sort that out. And we just need to change this view. So this is where I can use my camera control now. Cockpit cameras. Let's just active pause this. Active pause. So you can pause the sim and not actually move around, which is pretty good. To relocate the camera. Ooh, a bit too far. That's too much. Yeah, we'll stick with that. Okay. Active pause off. So I'm just going to use first stage of flap on this aircraft because it drops like a brick otherwise. Still a bit high, 4 whites. So, brakes are off, undercarriage is down, mixture's rich, props full forward. Fuel pumps on. Radios are set. T's and B's are okay. Whoa. We've got the live weather on for winds and stuff like that. Come on. Flaps away. Power. Oh, it's so twitchy on the ground. Somebody invents a rudder that actually works, please let me know. I'll buy one. So hopefully we should be... Yep, no flaps. Gear up. So we're now heading off south, direction of Welshpool. To the right of us we've got the Welsh Mountains. In fact, let's pull timeline back. it will stay there, 3,000 feet. There's the Welsh Mountains. They don't actually look that high. Could that be Wrexham below us? Hard to say. I have intentionally gone this fast just so we get there a bit quicker. We've got, how far we've got to run? No. Maybe should try the ATC box out and see what happens. So, 3, nearest airport list. Nope, we're not close enough yet. Fair enough. So let's get a bit lower and have a look at the scenery. That is phenomenal. The detail is awesome. I don't know if you've seen in old flight simulators, they would just be cardboard pop-up trees, literally 4-axis. Cockpit, so we are so far this is looking good. It's running alright in my system. It might just be that other users need to pull theirs down to medium settings to cope with this. It does look pretty decent. I think when you're above 2,000 feet as well, medium to high doesn't make any difference. So let's just have a look on the other screen at my CPU usage is only 22%. That's interesting. And at the moment my graphics card is only 75%. So let's climb. So the lower you are, the higher the CPU usage. There I can see the valley that Welshpool sits in there. So yeah, that's interesting. The CPU usage goes down, or GPU usage goes down, the higher up that you go. So, so yeah, Welshpool's on the nose. That switch that you see there with the aircraft, I'll just exaggerate. When the aircraft does this, that's a major flaw in flight sim, which we'll probably never see the back of. Let's go back to the ATC again. ATC. Nope. Let's try it up here. ATC. Welshpool. We'll go straight in. Actually no, we'll go runway 04. A bit more challenging.
Edgar Golf Charlie Whiskey Traffic Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf 17 miles north, 3,600 feet inbound to land runway 4.
Okay. This is air to ground as well, so phraseology is slightly different. So we'll do one announced position.
Edgar Golf Charlie Whiskey Traffic Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf 16 miles north, 3,700 feet inbound to land runway 4.
Okay, so may as well start a descent. It's got a real lean to the right, this aircraft. Okay, so 14 miles to run. Let's descend. Get some of the scenery, and we'll fly in at about 2,000 feet. There's hills either side of this airfield, so fly downwind and then we'll descend. That's about 1,000 feet at the end of the downwind leg. Yeah, I've flown this neck of the woods on a snowy day. Done a few cross-country lessons down here, and the roads become the same colour as the fields. Everything blends into one. Interesting that a lot of the rivers stay black. The canals tend to freeze over, but the rivers, streams stay black. So yeah, the landscape really changes, and that's reflected really well in this. So 2,000 feet, we'll level off there.
Echo Golf Charlie Whiskey Traffic Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf 9er, miles north 1,800 feet inbound to land runway 4.
Oh, what's that trim moving? So the airfield is just on the nose. I'm going to fly to the right of it, do a left-hand circuit. So this is high ground to the right of the airfield, which is a bit of a challenge. If we come down into the Ballymore, then we'll fly the same headings as the airfield, so it's 0, 4, 2, 2. Slow the aircraft down there.
Echo Golf Charlie Whiskey Traffic Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf is on downwind runway 4.
Put a stage of flap in. Cool, then I'm going to turn ahead in roughly 130. probably come straight round.
Echo Golf Charlie Whiskey Traffic Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf is on final runway for to land.
500.
Echo Golf Charlie Whiskey Traffic Beechcraft Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf is on final runway for to land.
That snow's a bit strange. There we are, ladies and gents. Welshpool. Looks nothing like, but hey ho, scenery's not too bad. And there's no cafe. Overall though, that's a pretty good test. I think that'll be okay for a mess around on Friday evening. So if you're on Flight Sim, feel free to join us. I'll put the airport in the notes below, and it'll just be a free-for-all. If we all stay in the same sort of aircraft, we can go at the same sort of speeds. Yeah, brilliant. Happy with that. Great stuff. Thanks for sticking in for so long, and maybe I'll see you on Friday. Take care.